All right. Today we're going to cover actually two different sections. We're going to talk about estimating products and quotients. Okay, we've sort of talked about this a little in the previous sections. And then the main one that we're going to focus on is 2.2. Okay, 2.1 I want to look at because I want you to understand, we talked about estimation the other day in the section in rounding, okay? And we talked about, for example, if I had 39 times 37, and I wanted to estimate that product, okay? Well, we use leading digit, okay, or first digit rounding to do that, okay? On this particular one, we would take and look at the 3 there and the 3 there, okay? We'd want to round to those. So what we're basically looking at then is 39 closer to 30 or 40? 40, okay? Is 37 closer to 30 or 40? 40, okay? Now we have a problem that gives us an estimate, 40 times 40. What is 40 times 40, Tayshawn? No. There you go, 1,600, okay, or 1,600. Basically, when I have 40 times 40, you just simply multiply 4 times 4 and put 2 zeros after it, okay? So that's what we're talking about when we're talking about estimation. Now, obviously, all of the problems are not going to be that easy. For example, if I had 59 times 2,854, okay, using the leading digit or the front digit estimation, okay, we look at, and we want to look at the 5 and the 2. So, to do that, we need to look at the number beside it, okay? Well, the number beside the 5 is a 9, okay? So what am I supposed to do to 5 if the number beside it is 5 or greater? Gabby? Add a 1 to it. So I'm going to take 5 and add 1 to it, making 60, okay? Times the 8 right here next to the 2 means I do what? Nick?
Add 1
and it makes it what? 3. Yeah. So we're going to add 1 to the 2, and we're going to make that a 3. What you can't forget is we have to bring down zeros for each of the other digits. Okay, we did the same thing over here. I just didn't draw the arrow to it until now. Okay, and so you basically have 60 times 3,000. Okay, don't make this harder than it is. What is 6 times 3? 18. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. That's all you have to do. Okay? And that's the estimate. Now understand, this is the estimate of what 59 times 2,854 is going to be. It is not the actual answer of what 59 times 2,854 is. Okay? It's just an estimate. So, for example, a while ago, Tayshawn missed a 0, and he said 160. Well, if he would estimate it, he would see that, if he came up with 1,600, and let's say he made the same mistake when he actually multiplied it out. Well, he would know that his estimate was 1,600, and he got 160, so he knows he did something wrong at that point. That's what estimation is used for, is to help you check what you're doing, to see if your answer is realistic or reasonable. Okay? If I'm multiplying 30 times 30, okay, that's going to be 900. Okay, so if you came up with 90, then obviously you've missed something there. Okay? Now, that's how we estimate multiplication problems. Okay? So that was estimating products. Okay, let me write that down, make sure everybody's clear on that. That was estimating products. All right, now let's look at estimating quotients. Okay, estimating quotients is exactly like estimating products, except now we're dealing with division problems. 21 divided into 106. Okay, you're going to do the same thing here. Now, in this particular lesson, we're not going to do this particular lesson. Okay, but we are going to take and expand upon this in later lessons. That's why we're talking about it today. Okay, this is actually, like I said, section 2.1. We won't do any work from 2.1. I just wanted to go over it with you, make sure you understand it, then we'll move into 2.2. Okay, here, I have 21 into 106. Okay, let's remember our division. This is the divisor. This is the dividend. Then on top is the quotient. Okay, the answer to a division problem is quotient. Okay, just like the answer to a multiplication problem is product. They'll say, what is the product of the two numbers? Well, that means you need to multiply the two numbers. If they say, what is the quotient of the two numbers, then that means you have to divide the two numbers. Okay, so that's what the words quotient and product actually mean. Okay. Now, let's look at 21 divided into 106. I want to look at the leading digit of each of the numbers. Okay? So, Judah, what would I round 21 to? 20. Okay? It's rounded to 20. The reason it's rounded to 20, because think of it naturally, logically. Is 21 closer to 20, or is 21 closer to 30? 20, so that's why it's 20. Okay, now we're going to look at 106. Is 106 closer to 100, or is 106 closer to 200? Quade. What? Okay, it's closer to 100. So, there's your estimate. Now you divide it out. All you got to know is 2 goes into 10 5 times. And I have a 0 left over, so I put it right there. Okay, the actual work or steps you would show is 5 times 20, or 5 times, whoops, I went one over, my bad. Should be 5. 5 times 20 is 100. Remainder 0. Okay, that's all you got to do. Okay. Now, let's look at another one, a little bit more difficult one. 76 into 7,824. 76 into 7,824. Okay? What that means is this. I'm going to round to the 7 there and the 7 on the inside. So, Nick, 76, what am I going to round it to? 80. That is correct. Bless you. 7,824. What am I going to do that round that one to? So we want to look at the 8. Tayshawn. 8,000. Good. Okay. Well, now it's very simplistic. 80 goes into 80 one time. Be 80, remainder 0. Bring down a 0. Well, it's not going to go into that, so I got to put a 0 up there. I can bring down another 0, but it's still not going to go into 0. And so, therefore, your answer is 100. That is your estimate. Okay, that's the estimate, not the actual answer. Okay, so that's how we estimate quotients. Okay, so we talked about estimating products. We talked about estimating quotients. Okay, now let's talk about actually doing the stuff, doing the multiplication. So now let's look at 2.2. Okay, 2.2 is fairly simplistic. It's something you've been doing for probably quite a while, is multiplying whole numbers. Now, these whole numbers are going to have 3 to 4 digits, okay? You may have been used to multiplying 2-digit numbers, okay? Maybe occasionally a 3-digit, but it would be only times a 1-digit number. We're going to do stuff like this. For example, 658 times 53, okay? And this is actually problem number 11, okay? This is problem number 11. Now, here's how I'm going to want you to do these problems. So this is problem 11. So what you're going to do first is you're going to estimate the product. So we're going to go over here beside it. We're going to look at the 6 and the 5. Okay? So is 658 closer to 600 or closer to 700? Judah? 700. So out beside it, I'm going to put 700 times. Is 53 closer to 50 or 60? Johanna? 50. So I'm going to put 50 right there. Now I'm going to multiply that out, but I'm going to use my shortcut that we talked about. I'm going to take 5 times 7, which is 35, and then I'm going to see 1, 2, 3 zeros, and I'm going to put those 3 zeros down there for 35,000. So that's my estimate. Okay? Now, the thing about estimates is sometimes they look fairly far away. We're going to see on this particular one how close our estimate is to the actual product. So now I'm going to take and actually multiply 658 times 53. Okay? So that means 3 times 8, which is 24. Carry my 2. 3 times 15 plus 2 would be 17. Carry my 1. 3 times 6 is 18 plus 1 would be 19. Now, me personally, I always do this. When I'm bringing down a 0, I actually put it down there. I know some people don't do that. I always do it because that way I make sure I don't make a mistake. Okay? But that's what you've got to do when you multiply multiple digit numbers times themselves. All right? So now I'm going to take, and I'm going to say 5 times 8, which is 40. So 0 goes there, put a 4 up top. 5 times 5 is 25, plus 4 would be 9. Carry my 2. 5 times 6 is 30, plus 2, 32. Okay? Now, obviously, at this point, I've got 4, 7, 18, carry my 1. 1 plus 1 is 2, plus 2 more would be 4. 34,874. Now, if we compare 35,000 and 34,874, okay, that's close. With this big of a number, that's close. Because realistically, if I rounded 34,874, if I rounded that, it would be up to 35,000 or 30,000, depending on which way you did it. Okay? If you use the first digit as rounding, then we'd round there. But this right here, 35. Jacob, what was your question? You were just stretching? We don't allow stretching in here. Just joking. Just joking. Don't panic. All right. So that's how we do every single problem that we're going to do here. Now, you also need to circle it. Circle that answer only, not the estimation answer, just the one answer. Okay? So, let's look at another one. Let's say they gave us number 14. Oh, there's a big one. Let's look at 14. Okay? 14 says 3,708 times 329. Okay? So, our first thing is we need to estimate the problem. Okay? So that means if I'm going to estimate that I got to look at the 3 there and the 3 right there. Okay? So I look at the number to the right of the 2 3s. One of them I have a 7 by. So what's going to happen to 3,708? Are you stretching or you want to answer, Jacob? Okay. What are you going to change it to? Yes, sir, 4,000. So that's 4,000 times. What's going to happen to 329? Judah? 300. All right. Now I'm going to do it the easy way. When all I've got is zeros except for the first digit of each number, then all I got to do once again is 3 times 4, which is 12, and then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. So I say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that gives me 1,200,000 is my estimate. That is not my answer, that's my estimate. Okay? So now I've got to figure the actual answer. So this one, I'm not going to say each step, I'm just going to write the numbers, okay? So let's do it. All right, everybody make sure you get that on the first line. 33,372 is what you should get on that first group of digits. Okay, we're going to put a 0. Now we're going to move to the second group of digits. You should get 74,160 with the second group of digits, providing I'm multiplying properly, which we'll find out in a second whether I am or not. Okay, next one, we're going to put 2 zeros. Okay, then I've got you got 111,240. Nope, excuse me, 1,112,400. Okay, now I've got to add everything up. We got my three lines of numbers. Now I've got to add them all up. All right, so that gives me 2. That gives me 13, carry my 1. That gives me 4, 5, 9. That gives me 9. It gives me 10, 11, carry my 1. Gives me 2, 1. So that gives me 1,219,932. Okay? Now, most times you would say, oh, that's not very close to 1,200,000. Okay? But in all actuality, it is pretty close. Okay? Because we're dealing with millions. Okay? That is the correct answer. 1,219,932. The reason we're so far off, far off in the sense of a lot more difference between the two, is because of right here. Okay? 708 is almost 300 away from 4,000. Okay? So it's a little off because we said that was 4,000. Okay, which it's obviously not, but that's how we would estimate it. Okay? So that is the correct estimation, and that is the correct answer. Okay? All right. Let me look here. All right, I want you to do number 19 on your own. Do number 19. Number 19 says 309 times 156. Okay, do that one on your own. I'm going to give you about 3 minutes, and then we'll discuss the answer. 309 times 156. All right, a lot of you are getting there, but you're missing one or just like one digit off, something like that. First of all, obviously we've got to list this vertically, so we go 309 times 156. Okay, our estimate is 300 times 200. Now, I am multiplying 3 times 2, which is 6, but some of you missed this part. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. So I got to have 4 zeros after my 6. Okay, so that would be 60,000 would be my estimate. Now I've got to actually multiply it out. 6 times 9 is 4. Carry my 5. That would be 54. 6 times 3, 18. Okay, then I bring down a 0. Okay, 5 times 9 is 45, which is 5. Carry my 4, which I just bring it down because it's 0. 5 times 3, 15. Okay, now I got to add 2 zeros. Some of you are not doing that and you're losing track of your place value. Okay, so now you multiply 9, 0, 3. Okay, now I take it and go straight down. 4. 5 plus 5 is 10, so that's 0. Carry my 1. That's 9, 13, 22. Carry my 2. 2 plus 1. 2 plus 1 is 3, plus 5 would be 8. 4. So 48,204. Okay? So that's how we get that one done. All right? Now, here's what you're going to do. Now listen to me. Listen carefully. Okay, you need to make sure you write this down because it's not like just 1 through 20 or something like that. I've given you individual numbers that you're going to do, and I'm going to explain to you how you're going to do it. Okay? So, 2.2, this is not homework. Okay, you will not do this tonight. You're going to do it in class tomorrow. Okay, you got 2.2, 8, 10, 12, 14 in your notes. You always write the assignment in the bottom of your notes page. And then once you do it in your homework, you write it there. Okay, so you have 8, 10, 12, 14, 18, 19, 23 through 26, 28, 30, and 32. Okay? This will be done during class on Friday. Do not do it at home on Thursday. Is it on the screen? Then we write it. Okay? So that's the assignment. Now, you're going to work hard in class tomorrow. If you don't get it done in class tomorrow, then you'll need to finish it up over the weekend. Okay? Because it is going to be due Monday. When we come to class, we will grade it. Okay? As soon as we come to class, there will be no time in class to do it on Monday. You're going to do it in class tomorrow, so you don't have homework tonight. And then if you don't complete it, you'll have to finish it over the weekend. Are there any questions about that? All right.